the COMICSGATE kings, as they branded themselves, really think you're dumb as a backer, and they really just do not respect just the intelligences of their own audiences. And that's kind of how they've operated on everything. That's exactly why you have these guys who just make these, quote, books that are 48 pages, take 3.5, 4 years to come out with one, and then you go, what's going on here? And they go, oh, it's just working on the quality, man. Meanwhile, they're live streaming 4, 5, 6, 7 hours a day, and they're obviously not working on the book whatsoever. A 48-page book in no one's world takes that long. I mean, you'd have to really, really be stupid to buy that line, and that's exactly what they think of the readers, and that's what they think of you. And it's because they know that nobody's actually reading these books. These are people who are just buying things as YouTube merch for these people, just kind of showing them, I'm one of you. And of course, they've got a lot of aspiring comic creators coming up behind them being like, look, if I support this, maybe these guys will support me when I come up. That's a lot of the sort of grift that goes on here. And there's another thing that they do that's a big deal every single time. And they've been doing it since 2018. And it really treats their audiences like they're complete idiots. And Shane Davis just did this for this Anatomic, which he suddenly got from 80,000 to, quote, 100,000. I believe that on his website. This is his self-reporting, so I don't think these numbers are legitimate. I'll show you that too. But here's the deal with what goes on with this. You see that it says 29 days left, but you might have seen a couple days ago that it said like 1 day left. Let's talk about this in just a moment, and this kind of, again, just treating the audience like they're stupid, really disrespecting the customer, and just and that's what the mainstream comic industry does. Marvel and DC Comics have always treated people like they're stupid. This is the crowdfunding equivalent of the all-new #1 collector's item issue. So let's talk about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button as we talk about all things comics here, guys. I am, of course, on my John Delarose Comics Substack, and I'm doing things a little differently as I build this movement and community of comic books and comic book readers together. So this Substack here, you can read Flying Sparks every single day, absolutely for free. I'm putting up my old sort of stuff on here so that we can build a group of readers first. And because I want everybody reading, that's the most important part about things. It's not about like some 48-hour variant cover that's like this FOMO sort of situation. And that's what they do. They create this fake FOMO on their live streams where people, again, don't actually care about the books or reading. They just want to like grab that thing and get that total score up. And it's not about that. The real comics where it's healthy are with Webtoon, with Tapas, with Archaven, where people are posting webcomics and actually building readerships. That's exactly what we've been doing the last several weeks here with my Substack. Now, Substack's a great free speech platform. And as I said, I'm posting a Flying Sparks comic every single day. So the new pages come out every single day. You get it emailed directly to you. It's free. I also have exclusives for paid subscribers, and that's exactly, again, what Webtoon does. They go up on Patreon or whatnot. They give things early. They give exclusives and things like that for people to sign up and support so you could help me create my art. I got a bunch of new paid subscribers yesterday, so thank you so much for supporting our channel, guys. And this is where the future is. So thank you for being here and building the future. We're not doing things like the Marvel and DC guys did or like Shane Davis and Ethan Van Sciver did. Copying that model is old and busted. This is the new hotness. Thank you for being here again. The Substack's in the description below. And if you want my physical books, guys, I have an online web store as well to make it easy for you. And thanks for supporting all the way around. I actually have to email my fulfillment guys a bunch of new books because they ran out this weekend. Oops, I got to get on that. Thanks for reminding me. But yes, sign up here, guys. This is our future of our movement. So yeah, everything's just like a complete grift on this sort of stuff. I covered the other day that Ethan Van Sciver was delaying his Fund My Comic. He was going to put this Diary of Heather Swain on Fund My Comic as a book. Now look at all this. He's launching this now with 2 different books so you can drum up the total. So you can sell you this one for $25, you can sell you this one for $25, and it's 2 books for $50, and it's 64 pages, reasonable for $25. That's usually what I do. 32 pages really is not, right? And so you've got this coming out here, and you're going to get some collector's item cards. Like, again, it's like very boomer 90s sort of mentality of the old and dead pub. That exactly what they do. And so he's not launching it on Fund My Comic because what happened is when he went on Fund My Comic for his last deal, CG Master Racers, you can see how badly it failed all the way around. And so he saw this, 55 backers. That's all he could get to go to fund my comic. And so he wants to keep people on this SJW platform, Indiegogo, who's banned a bunch of people from COMICSGATE, shadow bans everybody in COMICSGATE. It is pretty wild that they do this on the site, and they keep doing this, right? And so Indiegogo is a bad platform, but he keeps propping it up because he knows it's difficult to get people to switch platforms. And here's the real deal on this. He actually uses one campaign to fund the last one. There's a reason there's so many campaigns open. There's a company called Cool Mini or Not in board games that does this, and they just keep launching new campaigns because they haven't fulfilled the one from 3 or 4 ago, and they need the new money to actually pay for that. And so they keep launching campaign after campaign after campaign. It's catching up with them. That company's going under. And this is going to catch up with Ethan Van Sciver eventually because he's getting less and less and less backers every single time he does this kind of thing. They're just gone, right? And so they're disappearing because he's not delivering, and he's not delivering a product that's worth the money. This is pretty obvious at this juncture. So that's what's going on grift number 1. Grift number 2 is what's happening with Shane Davis. Like I said, they've got the equivalent of the comic book industry, all new number 1 first issue. Marvel Comics just did this last month with Fantastic Four. They've got the movie coming out, so what do they need? An all-new number 1 first issue, so people who are interested in seeing the movie or seeing the movie can jump on here and believe this is the number 1 issue so that they can collect it and bag and board it, and of course get it CGC graded because it's going to be worth so much money someday. Wow, that's going to be so cool. Well, this is exactly what these guys do. They do their variant covers, their 48-hour variant covers for the same reason, and it's ridiculous. But on this level, they also do these things with the campaign sort of pages. And so this, like I said at the beginning of the video, had said 1 day left a couple days ago. So he acted like he was closing the campaign and ending it, and then he just added a bunch of days after he did a live stream pretending it was ending. And as I said, this is insulting to customers because everybody on the live stream, it's ending today, guys. It's closing. This is the closeout. Here's my closeout stream. You're going to miss it if you don't buy it today. They all come in here on this, and they then pump up the numbers real quick, and then, oops, I just hit the extend button. Like I said, back in 2018 when they first discovered that this was a thing, the extend button, and they're like, maybe I don't want to actually close out my campaign just out. It might have been a valid thing at this point, but nowadays they're just doing it to get that little bump up there to show that there's quote some more quote success, and it's insulting to the backers because the backers are acting like this is the end of it. They're buying as if it's the end of it, and it's not actually the end of it at any time. And now Shane Davis is doing this. They all do this. John Malin, Ethan Van Sciver. It's a product of Indiegogo because you can't do that on Kickstarter. That's something that can't be done. And so when they do these live streams, they do this whole deal, this whole dog and pony show, pretending like it's ending as a telethon to try to bump these numbers up real quick and then get this going. Now, as I said, I'm pretty sure that Shane Davis is actually fudging numbers on his own website as well. Because if you look, again, most of these guys actually did most of their work on Indiegogo. And you see the Indiegogo is only at 20,000. I don't believe that that for a moment that 80% of his funding has moved over to his own website from Indiegogo. These people are not that loyal of backers, and as we showed with Ethan Van Sciver, when they went over to just fund my comic, which is something that's been friendly and pro-free speech for everybody, that only generated 55 backers, so people were not willing to go over there, which is why Ethan Van Sciver is jumping right back to Indiegogo with the book he was supposed to launch on Fund My Comic. Now, of course, this has been the same with everybody else. If you look at when Mike Barron puts things on Kickstarter, and that, not that he's on this crew at all, but he puts on Kickstarter or Indiegogo and then puts it on Fund My Comic. The Fund My Comic gets 10-20% of the backing of these other ones. It's been that way across the board for anybody who's used all of these platforms. So Shane Davis having all of his go to his website versus not on Indiegogo where he's been for these years just seems suspect. I think it's fake. I think he's fudging the numbers on his website, and I think that he's trying to push it to make it look like he's got a 6-figure campaign because they need that for COMICSGATE, because everybody's been noticing that COMICSGATE's not making the money that they used to, and it's because of the reasons I told you before. So this is what's happening right now. Pretty wild stuff. It's a fake closeout. Like I said, it's insulting to backers' intelligences. They're telling, it's closing out today. You better get it now or you're going to miss it forever. Behind the scenes, they're going, you're a stupid idiot. You're just going to back it because you think it's closing today. and I get to do it twice, right? Or 3 times. They can extend this indefinitely. And that's also what happens is it goes into these in-demand things. So it's not actually lost for the most part generally anyway. Very funny stuff. So we'll see what happens with this, quote, Cyberfrog launch if Ethan Van Sciver's audience is still around for yet another comic when the other comics haven't delivered yet. It's quite the scam on that level. Like I said, it's all insulting to backers' intelligences the entire way, and that's exactly why we're doing it differently now. It's just about you reading, and that's why we need to build this new community of comics that is actually doing what these guys promised. We're building a whole suite of fantasy, science fiction, and superhero comics. We are doing the things that they don't because we work harder than everybody else. I don't spend my time live streaming, if you don't notice. I spend my time working, and that's exactly why I've built such a loyal readership over the years. So get on the Substack, guys. It's in the description below. If you want to grab some physical books, they're on my web store. Thanks for being here, guys. And that's my report of the day. What do you think about this? Do you like the way that they're doing things and treating their backers? I'd love to hear from you, and we'll be back soon.